Prince Harry today has said that he would like to see you do more to end the war in Ukraine. Do you think it's appropriate for a royal to make those comments ahead of the visit on Monday?
Prince Harry?
Yes, sir.
How's he doing? No, I don't know. I know one thing. Prince Harry is not speaking for the UK. That's for sure. I think I'm speaking for the UK more than Prince Harry. But I appreciate his advice very much.
Look closely at the footage emerging from the White House today. While the world's cameras are fixed on King Charles arriving in Washington for this historic state visit, something else is happening. Something clandestine. Look beyond the forced smiles of the diplomats and the perfectly timed handshakes. Look at the aides in the background. They are scrambling. Phones are being handed to chiefs of staff under tables. Whispers are being exchanged behind closed doors. This grainy clip of Charles looking somber in the West Wing wasn't just the result of jet lag or the heavy burden of the crown. It was the exact moment he was told his younger son had officially gone rogue. While the king prepared for a black-tie dinner with the president, Prince Harry was in Kiev, standing in front of an ITV camera and declaring himself a global representative of the British people.
Recognise that phrase, not a working royal. Do you recognise that description of you?
No, I will always be part of the royal family, and I'm here working and doing the very thing that I was born to do. Any of what?
Any of what you've said here will have an impact on a big state
No, I
visit.
don't think so. Not at all.
He wasn't wearing a suit. He was in a tactical jacket, walking through the rubble of a shattered school, looking every bit the wartime leader. He looked directly into the lens and said he was doing what he was born to do. But what the palace PR machine is desperately trying to bury is the legal authority he used to get there. This footage, this unsanctioned diplomatic mission, was never meant to be seen by the public. A scandal-linked shadow monarchy has been born in the ashes of Eastern Europe, and the foundations of Windsor have been shaken to the core. To understand the sheer scale of the betrayal unfolding this April of 2026, we have to look back at the crumbs left in the early 2020s. We remember January 2020, the infamous Megxit summit at Sandringham. At the time, we were fed a sanitized narrative. We were told Harry and Meghan were simply stepping back to pursue private lives. But the unwavering truth is that the late Queen Elizabeth II was a master of the long game. She had lived through the abdication crisis of 1936. She understood that the greatest threats to the crown don't come from the outside, but from within. In late 2022, just months before her passing, the royal archives were updated with a series of quiet, highly classified administrative shifts. While the media focused their relentless attention on tell-all memoirs and multi-million-dollar streaming deals, the actual legal architecture of the monarchy was being reimagined behind closed doors. For years, the public watched as Harry fought tooth and nail in the courts for his security, claiming he and his family were in imminent danger. The mainstream press mocked him, painting it as a battle over mere paparazzi protection. We now know that was a deliberate distraction. The legal battle wasn't about bodyguards. It was about preserving his status as an international protected person, a highly specific diplomatic title usually reserved exclusively for sitting heads of state or those on official, sanctioned government business. If he was no longer a working royal, why was he fighting so viciously to keep a title that allowed him to bypass international borders without parliamentary oversight?
And we are on the Freedom Flight. We are leaving Canada and we are headed to Los Angeles.
Because of a document the palace hoped would stay locked in the tomb forever. The leak happened only hours ago, and it changes everything we thought we knew. An encrypted wire from the British ambassador in Washington, D.C., to the Foreign Office in London was intercepted by a whistleblower deep within British intelligence. It details what insiders are calling the Washington Panic. The wire confirms that while King Charles is currently in the United States to negotiate a fragile new trade and security alliance, Prince Harry had already briefed the very same American and European intelligence officials 2 days prior in Kiev. Let that sink in. Harry didn't go to Ukraine as a private citizen handing out food parcels. He arrived with a secure diplomatic briefcase. He bypassed the British embassy entirely. He sat in underground command centers, receiving briefings from military generals as if he were a visiting sovereign. And he did it all using a legal framework known internally as the Regency Addendum. This addendum is a set of secret, legally binding instructions signed and sealed by Elizabeth II. It contains a paragraph 7 that has been meticulously redacted in every public version of the sovereign grant report since her death. Our sources within the Cabinet Office suggest that paragraph 7 contains a dormant, unprecedented clause. It allows a non-working, blood-born royal to act as a temporary sovereign agent in the event of a severe global crisis that the sitting monarch is unable to attend due to state travel conflicts. Do you see the trap? By landing in Washington, D.C. for a scheduled state visit, King Charles effectively triggered his own son's dormant power. By being physically out of the country and tied up in ceremonial banquets, the king inadvertently activated the very shadow king he's been trying to suppress for the last 6 years. Harry isn't breaking the rules. He is using his grandmother's hidden rules against his own father. But the palace isn't taking this lying down. The counterstrike is already in motion. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, has reportedly reached his absolute breaking point. Insiders say the tension between the brothers has moved far beyond a family feud. It is now a constitutional war. Sources within Kensington Palace say the Wales Doctrine has been finalized, driven in large part by the cold, calculated strategy of Catherine. The doctrine is a ruthless blueprint designed to be enacted the moment William takes the throne, or, if necessary, the moment he becomes regent himself. This plan involves the Permanent Exile Act, a piece of legislation drafted in clandestine meetings between William's top aides and key members of Parliament. Its goal is unprecedented: to legally strip the prince title, the duke title, and all remaining lines of succession from Harry by 6 p.m. tonight. William sees Harry's rogue Ukraine trip as a direct, existential challenge to his future authority. He knows that Harry is effectively building a Commonwealth 2.0, a modern, agile, globally popular shadow monarchy that operates on American soil and answers to no one in the British Parliament. To make matters worse, whispers in London suggest the Spencer family, Princess Diana's bloodline, is quietly utilizing their vast network of international contacts to facilitate Harry's movements, creating a proxy war for Diana's legacy playing out on the world stage. Which brings us back to the ultimate question we asked at the beginning of this investigation. How is Harry pulling this off without being immediately arrested for treason? How is he able to represent the crown while being completely exiled from the family? The answer lies in that one handwritten word Queen Elizabeth II scribbled on the back of the Megxit departure papers in the winter of 2020. It is the single word the palace has spent millions in PR and legal fees to hide from the British public. Regent. Elizabeth didn't just let her grandson go, she weaponized him. She quietly designated him as an emergency global regent. It means that as long as Harry is on foreign soil where an active crisis exists, and the reigning monarch is otherwise engaged, Harry holds the legal, sovereign power of a king in exile. Charles is the king of the land, bound by red tape, parliament, and ceremony. But Harry has been made the king of the crisis. The Regency Addendum isn't a loophole he exploited. It was the Queen's final, unwavering command to ensure the monarchy survived in the modern age, even if it meant splitting the institution in two. The palace is now trapped in a countdown. They have 24 hours to respond before the king boards his flight to leave Washington. If the Prime Minister and the king do not publicly disavow Harry's Ukraine visit, they silently admit that he is, in fact, a legal regent acting with sovereign authority. If they do disavow him, they risk exposing the Queen's secret addendum, sparking a constitutional collapse that could end the traditional monarchy by the end of the year. The silence from Buckingham Palace right now is deafening.